So I don't have many photos from before, and I'm not going to start at childhood because there's just so much to unpack there. But this is me while I was with my ex before all the crazy bad things happened. I'm probably about 16-ish, maybe almost 17 here. My ex, at the time, he was 26. He was 10 years older than me. I had just come back to Massachusetts here. My ex followed me after like a week. I think I was here a week, and he showed up. Um, as you can tell, I do not look well. This was after he had traded me to feed his habit, and I thought I escaped, and then I thought I loved him, so I took him back. He promised to change, and as we know, that did not work. Here I am. After my ex left, I am free. I finally escaped. He put his hands on me for the very last time. So I am here, but I am a drug addict. I got hooked to pain medicine after a car crash, and it was a really hard road, but I got off the pain meds and I'm still sober to this day. This is my husband and I, back when we were young. uh, we were just dating here in this photo, but this is right before I got sober. And here I am before Jesus, of course, but also this is me when I find out that I am sick for the very first time. Well, this is actually like a day or two before I get that news. I have had 2 cancers in my life, and this is when I fought the first one. Here I am sober. It's not easy, but I have begun. Here I am when I was working for the post office and traveling with the union for conventions and stuff. And this is also when we lost our son, just before our wedding. In the same year, in March of 2016, we had lost our son. And in October of 2016, we got married. And this is, I believe, August of 2015. So it's just a few months, like like 6 to 8 months before, whatever, a season before a season. Here's my husband and I on our wedding day, a beautiful October day, but it did rain a little bit. I hear it's good luck, so we had to move our ceremony indoors, but we got our pictures outside, so it was a win overall because I got the most wonderful man in the world. And this is what I look like on our honeymoon. And this is me dancing with my papa for our father-daughter dance at my wedding. My dad did not come to my wedding, so my grandpa had to walk me down the aisle and do all the fatherly things with me. But he's basically been like my dad my whole life, so I was very honored and blessed to have him be there for me. And here's what I look like on our honeymoon right before I find Jesus. So we were heartbroken and devastated with what happened with our son, and we decided to go to church. My husband decided to go to church. I wanted to make a magic spell work, like on the movies. And he said, "No, I don't believe in that. Let's go to church." So we did. And long story short, I just kept going back, and I gave my life to Christ the weekend of my husband's birthday in February 2017. And my church prayed over us in March of 2017 to help heal us and have a baby. And by May of 2017, I decided to get baptized. So I got baptized, and exactly a week after this day, I found out that I was pregnant with our daughter. And I was so nervous and so scared, but God spoke to me and said, "Your child will live." And after that, I was at peace with it and just excited and happy. We had a hard pregnancy. It was not easy. I was high risk and bedridden and not allowed to work or do anything the whole time. And then we spent like a month in the hospital after she was born. But I was just happy. We welcomed my beautiful baby girl into the world right here, and I finally became a mommy. Fast forward a couple years, and I had packed on some weight after, pregnancy, as moms sometimes do. And we had bought our very first house. We thought it was going to be our forever home, but as y'all know from listening to our journey, that we are selling it and moving. So we were going to find a new forever home, I reckon. But this is what I look like when we bought our house. Then COVID hit and I got really, really heavy. And the world stopped. But things going on with my daughter didn't. And she was fighting a battle. We got her diagnosed. She has autism, and we also had to bring her to a neurology because she was undergoing these things that we thought were absent seizures. She has a couple neurological issues, so there's a whole fight with that going on. It was a battle, but we got her the services she needed, and eventually the world reopened. My husband had lost his job, so I went to work it was at the beginning-ish of the pandemic. And it was a couple years into the pandemic, I had gotten sick. And I was getting real sick all the time. And then we got COVID, and that I was really, really sick. So I went to the doctors, and that's when I found out that I was going to have another fight, another battle with cancer. And this picture is actually, I had to cut my bangs because I was already undergoing treatment here, and my hair was thinning so bad, and I did not want to lose my hair. It was the one thing I did not want to lose my hair. So I cut my bangs to hide all the thinning parts because they were like all right up front, and you can still see I still have a lot of broken hair where it's finally starting to grow back. This is me during treatment trying to live a healthier life and try to just make it work because it was a battle, and I just wanted my family to have a healthier version of me, and I wanted to be able to be around for a long time. And I walked every day, even if it made me really sick. I went to work, I walked, and I slept. And I took care of my daughter in the farm, of course, but like we couldn't go to church really because I just couldn't handle it. It was just so much. I was exhausted and just so sick all the time. I wore a very good mask. Most people had no idea what I was going through because that's another thing about me. I never told anyone until it was over. So then my husband and I decided we're going to start knocking some things off the bucket list. So last New Year's, we got to do this. This has always been my top number one thing to do. I've always wanted to do Times Square on New Year's Eve and see it in person, and we did. And while I was sick, I decided to go back to school and make something happen because if I was going to, be sick and in a bed, I was going to do something. But also, if I had to leave this world, I wanted a better spot for my family. I didn't want them to struggle without me. I wanted to make sure that they were taken care of. So I decided to do something about it. And I have just graduated with my bachelor's, and I'm continuing with my master's, and I am free and clear. And here is a little picture of everything my body had gone through. My heaviest on the left, where I'm at, well, I've lost a little more weight now on the right. And I just wanted to show how much my body had gone through. I changed my lifestyle, got healthier, did everything I had to do to not be so sick all the time. And just to clarify, we had lost our son in utero at about 17 weeks, just under 17 weeks. So that's what happened to our son. I also didn't want to touch on any of the childhood trauma on this video. I just wanted to try to get through a lot of the events from when I was older to now, where I graduate. And I am a college graduate and living my dream life that I never in a million years thought I would have. Thanks for listening to my recap test.